And it's one of those fields, those subspecialties that we talked about before in the past that is sort of like still kind of being developed. What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Phil Sarpon. This is Phil's Guide to PsyD. This channel is dedicated to all things clinical psychology. If you're interested in psychology, wellness, or if you want some tips and guides to kind of get you through grad school or even prepare for grad school, then this channel is for you. So one of the questions that I've been getting asked from you guys is, what exactly is sports psychology? And I'm not even gonna lie, this is actually something that I was kind of interested in as I was pursuing grad school and I was actually looking to apply to clinical psychology school. And it's one of those fields, those subspecialties that we talked about before in the past that is sort of like still kind of being developed. There is a lot of national certifications and things like that, but there is also some variance into actually how you can become a sports psychologist. And so in this video, we're gonna go through the breakdown of how exactly to become a sports psychologist. So sports psychology is interesting because it's actually going to combine a lot of fields. It's going to combine physiology, kinesiology, and also biomechanics. And one of the things is that obviously is going to work specifically with the population of athletes. So what's cool is that it is combining elements of medicine along with psychology, especially for the treatment of athletes, as of course they are expected to perform physically and things like that. But they're also expected to have really good mental health performance, because the better mental health performance they have, the better they can do with their physical health and things like that. So they may practice in a number of different settings. They'll practice in hospitals, clinics, gyms, physical rehabilitation centers, or even schools. They also may work in private practice and actually provide some consulting services as well. What's actually also really cool about this field is that it's expected to grow between 14% between 2018 and 2028, and the median annual salary is going to be $79,000. It is possible to be a sports psychologist with only a master's degree. You will be a little bit more restricted on some of the things that you can do in terms of a clinical basis, but it is possible to be a sports psychologist with a master's degree. What's more expected is to actually get a PsyD or a PhD in clinical psychology, or of course specifically in sports psychology. So there are programs out there that have specific sports psychology master levels or even PhD programs that you go into. You take a certain curriculum, you're going to take a certification at the end of it, and you're going to actually become a licensed sports psychologist. Right? But now, what if you actually want to go in a different direction in terms of the clinical psychology route? Well, here's where it gets a little interesting. So there are two basic ways to get certified in sports psychology. One of them is through the American Board of Sports Psychology, that's ABSP, which offers national certification in sports psychology. But the prerequisites include you have to have a doctoral degree from an accredited school. The other thing is that you also have to have a license. And so most of the times for psychology, for clinical psychology, the licensure program is the EPPP, right? So they would require you to graduate from a doctoral program, and then they'd also require you to already be licensed as a psychologist. And then they also actually have their own specific training program that they require people to go into. So some of the things that the certification requires is, again, to go through their training program, and you have to score sort of this exam with at least 80%. The other thing is that you have to consistently go through a number of didactic courses and tasks, along with some assessments and intervention and mental health training. As well as there's going to be a final project that has a written report and oral discussion included within it. The experiences are going to involve about 750 hours of sort of a pre-practicum study, and then also a final project time that is mandated as part of the training. And so not only does it include sort of the certification, but it includes a number of different classes you have to take, certain assessments that you have to go through, a written report, an oral discussion, as well as just internship hours that you can kind of go into. So if you're looking into clinical psychology school, this might look like where you actually do graduate with your PsyD or your PhD degree. you get licensed as a clinical psychologist, and then you go into the specific training program and get certified through this program, right? And so one of the probably the best ways that you can actually also kind of get these hours in clinical training is that once you're done with your PsyD or your PhD program and you're getting ready for your internship, you can look into sports psychology internship settings where you can actually get a lot of these hours and also a lot of this training in order to finally also get certified at the end. The other method of getting certified is through the Association for Applied Sports Psychology. Now, what's cool about this is that this program also offers a certification exam, and there also needs to be evidence of a doctoral or a master's degree. So this is one where even if you have a master's in sports psychology or a master's in psychology, you could still be a sports psychologist even with your master's degree. This certification also includes applicants to have over 400 hours of mentored experience consisting of a minimum of 200 hours specifically in direct client contact, with a maximum of 150 hours spent in support activities and a minimum of 50 hours spent in mentorship. All right, so there's a number of clinical training that they require, and that in total is how you become a sports psychologist. So as you can see, there is a little bit of work included. If you're going to go through a clinical psychology route, it's obviously much easier to actually just to go into a sports psychology master's program or a sports psychology PhD or PsyD program and kind of get your hours and your clinical training and get your certification that way. But there is the other way of either just getting a master's in psychology and going through the specific certification requirements, or getting a PhD in PsyD and again going through choosing one of these certifications and going through their specific training requirements. I will put the link down below to where I got all of this information. And if you guys are interested in sports psychology, definitely put it down in the comment section below. If you've ever thought about it, I'd love to just kind of hear your thoughts about it. This is something, again, that kind of piqued my interest as I was looking into clinical psychology. And if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and with that, I will see you guys in the next video.